Turkey is warning the world, do not touch Iran. On January 12, 2026, Ankara delivered a clear message that any foreign intervention in Iran would only push the country and the entire region deeper into chaos. Speaking for Turkey's ruling AK party, spokesperson Ömer Çelik said Iran does have serious internal problems, economic pressure, social unrest, and governance failures, but stressed these must be solved through Iran's own national will, not outside force. And then came the sharp warning. Çelik said intervention, especially if provoked by Israel, could spark wider instability with consequences far beyond Iran's borders. Turkey's Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan added more context. He acknowledged that protests in Iran began with real economic and structural grievances, but warned they are now being manipulated by Iran's rivals, including claims that Israeli-linked networks are fueling unrest through social media campaigns. For Turkey, this is not abstract diplomacy. It shares a long, sensitive border with Iran, and any collapse could mean refugee flows, security threats, and regional spillover Ankara desperately wants to avoid. Despite years of rivalry, from Syria to energy competition, Turkey is choosing stability over escalation. Even with President Erdogan maintaining personal ties with U.S. President Donald Trump, Ankara firmly opposes U.S. or Israeli military action, pushing instead for dialogue, including possible U.S.-Iran talks. Meanwhile, the situation inside Iran continues to deteriorate. Human rights group HRANA reports around 544 deaths and over 10,000 arrests by mid-January 2026. What began as the economic protests has escalated into open calls against the clerical regime. Then came Washington's pressure move. On the same day, President Trump announced a 25% tariff on any country doing business with Iran, effective immediately. This secondary tariff directly targets Iran's trading partners, and Turkey is one of the most exposed. In recent years, trade between the two neighbors has exceeded $12 billion, including Iranian natural gas, petrochemicals, machinery, and border commerce. Now, Turkish exporters face higher costs when selling to the U.S., threatening competitiveness and profits. Ankara may be forced to reduce trade with Tehran, putting strain on a relationship that also helps Turkey manage energy security and bypass sanctions in the past. Despite online claims, there is no clear evidence that Turkey, Iran, and other Muslim countries are forming a unified front to push out U.S. or Israeli influence. Yes, cooperation exists, especially on Gaza and criticism of Israeli actions, but deep rivalries remain. Saudi Arabia and the UAE still rely on U.S. security ties. Turkey remains a NATO member, giving it room to criticize Washington without fully breaking away. So Turkey's strategy is pragmatic, not confrontational. Oppose foreign meddling, avoid regional collapse, balance ties with both Washington and Tehran.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.